catches your eye. Nothing like a good sail. Good luck.
Hyperion wishes to remind you that it could be much worse.
I'm going to die. Roland forcibly relocated me to Sanctuary for what he claimed was my safety, but the slackjaws who populate this city make my flesh scream. A young woman said hello to me today. I stared back at her, my mind screeching as I looked for a way to escape this unwanted interaction. As my face grew red with nauseous stress, a blood vessel popped in my nose and a jet of crimson shot out of my nostrils, splattering us both with blood. She screamed and ran away. As pleased as I was at the time, I fear causing fountains of blood to shoot from my face will not be a viable long-term strategy for avoiding conversation. questions occurred to me today as I was pinning a disemboweled skag to my front door to dissuade others from approaching it. What does Jack want with the vault key? Was the key simply charging the entire time I possessed it before Jack crowbarred it from my bloody hands? Was it waiting to unleash its alien powers on Pandora to make Iridium appear from the very ground? Was it preparing itself to unlock even more alien ruins? I will delve deeper into this question after I soundproof the walls of my home, that I may be spared the incessant laughter and joviality of Sanctuary's citizens.
Success imminent.
I have uncovered legends of an ancient alien warrior. The legends tell of a magical key that can bring it back to life. If my hypotheses are correct, which they always are, the legends may be speaking of the vault key. Also, a young man told me I was pretty on my way back from the grocer's. My reaction was surprisingly tame. I only spent the next 3 hours dry heaving into a bucket. Yesterday, I had a conversation with another human being. Granted, it was only a conversation inasmuch as my grunts of social terror could be taken as human speech, but Roland did not seem to mind. He asked me why Jack hasn't revived the warrior yet, if he has the key. I conveyed that the key needed to be charged by iridium, hence Jack's mining operations. He nodded and silently wiped the streams of my saliva from his face. I returned home, confused not only at his lack of disgust toward my behavior, but my lack of disgust toward him. For the first time, I felt as if I could actually live in Sanctuary. For the first time, I feel as if I might be okay.
Hey man, I think Roland wanted you to go check out the town of Overlook. See if you can help the people there or whatever. Them folks been cooped up in their houses ever since they got the shivers. Dollars to donuts, they could use your help.
Hello. Given the skill with which you dispatched those robots, we of the town of Overlook thought you might give us a hand, so to speak. So, first item on the agenda, we're all dying of a brain disease. If you could get us 3 shipments of medication, we would live, which would allow me to keep paying you. Our medicine machine needs a new battery. Please climb the clock tower ladder and remove the clock's battery.
Overlook has once again inched out Jackville for fewest weekly curfew violations. For the next week, the grinder will only be used for egregious felonies, like littering or profanity.
God damn it, some jackhole broke the clock tower! How the hell am I supposed to know what time it is now?
You found the battery. Plug it into our medicine machine and buy some skull shiver medication. Please. Once I find out who thought we needed a running clock more badly than we needed shiver medication, they will be thoroughly reprimanded.
If you got the money, I'll save your golden
Thank you, but we need 2 more medicine shipments. The next is carried by a traveling Hyperion. Requisition officer. Wandering the Highlands. Get the medicine from him. Without his guards, I'm sure the salesman will give you a good price for his medicine. I suggest killing them politely, if possible.
Who needs a medical license when you got style?
Great. You're very efficient. I respect that. The last medicine shipment was being delivered by boat, but we lost contact. Find it, please.
Get your health and shields right here.
You've got all the medicine. Efficient. Very efficient. Now please distribute that medicine around town. I'd do it myself, but Hyperion doesn't like it when we leave our homes.
Appreciate it.
Screw you! You can bring me medicine all day. It don't make you less of a stag, sucker!
Sorry about Dave. He's a... we try not to talk to him. Return to me for your agreed-upon reward. If I had 10 people like you, this town would be running like clockwork. Now that our brains aren't going to rot from the inside... Let's move on to point 2 on my agenda. Revolt. If we are to shake off Hyperion control, the town will need a shield like sanctuaries. To protect it from moonshot blitzes, if you could donate some shields to the town, I could scavenge them and build us a shield. Just drop whatever shields you no longer want into the grinder.
Hyperion
found anything
suggests
good.
staying
My weapon
inside.
machines will
The
fix
outdoors
that for
are
you.
dangerous and do not have cables.
If you got the money, I'll save your gall-darn life. Be careful out there.
Yes, just like that. A few more shields and I'll be able to build a defense shield out of the parts. I was a computer engineer before Overlook's old administrator died and left me in charge.
Karima, you can't make us no techie shieldy thing. You's a woman. Now, if the town needs someone to make us a big old sandwich, then we call you.
Your feedback... is appreciated, David.
Felonies.
Thanks for the gear, stranger. Ready to build the shield now. Grab the scrap and bring it to me.
Y'all's just gonna blow yourselves up. Better quit now.
Thank you for your input, Dave. Overlook's shield is finished, and I would very much like your help testing it. Head to the Hyperion outpost nearby and get to the mortar cannon on the launch pad.
Hey, Karima, you know what's even better than having a working shield? Not being a woman.
Oh my god, shut up, Dave.
I and Jack and Get Red! Welcome you into the Hyperion family. What now?
flag-sucking moron up by the cannon.
Please ignore Dave and aim the cannon 55 degrees port-bound, 86 degrees skyloft. We'll need Overlook to sustain a direct hit from the mortar to test the shield. Now, fire the cannon.
Karima, don't feel bad, Jack. You're the husband of the grinder. Well, I'll bet you if you ask nicely.
Now, let's try that with the shield on. Please fire the cannon again. Most efficient. The shield works. Overlook is safe and no Dave. This is truly a happy day. Return to me at your earliest convenience. You know my favorite thing about Dave? He's dead.
I think I'm lost. They say Handsome Jack found the warrior. That can't be true.
You listened to my notes, I assume. I would be upset were it not for the equally privacy-indifferent background. I hid the copious material I compiled after opening the vault those 5 long years ago. In a fit of spastic paranoia, I did not write down the locations to the information. Find it for me and be handsomely... Oh, were you expecting me to say handsomely rewarded? I've been relocated to Sanctuary against everyone's better judgment. Not my own, mind you. I never wanted to be here. I was perfectly content to live out my days in a non-standard living arrangement with 2 ceiling chairs I met at a bar fight. Oh, they're adorable. They barely speak any English. And if you have to ask what a ceiling chair is, I pity the life you've wasted. I should discuss the scroll-ophant in the room. The reason for my relocation was an elongated and systematically unpleasant torture at the hands of Jack's cronies. Roland and his well-defined pectoral muscles were kind enough to entrust the vault key with me after the awakening of the Destroyer, not to be confused with the Warrior. Seriously, those sound nothing alike. Oh, right. Torture. I asked nicely on several occasions to take proper precautions against bacteria on the instruments, but it fell upon idiotic ears. As they cut into my flesh over and over, I would fade in and out of consciousness and whisper to the ceiling chairs that it was going to be okay. Clork was afraid at first. His 4 legs trembled against the cold ceiling. But he knew he had to be strong for me. Then they went to work on his brother, Philippe.
Iraqi might have been
Philippe. Philippe was so brave. He was so brave for me when the rotary saws began to ply his legs from his body. Clark cried out for his brother, even when one of the torturers inadvertently sat on him and muffled his cries. The last thing Philippe said before he passed on to the great wooden beyond was, "I love you, Patty. I love you." And then he was gone. It's lonely here in Sanctuary. Sure, Clark prattles around on the ceiling, but it's hardly the same. Jack has taken so much from me. Jack has taken the only happiness I've ever had in his asinine quest for the warrior and more power. Revenge is as pointless as music, but on this occasion, I will allow myself the revenge. I will allow myself to aid in his downfall. Mark my words, Jack. You're going to die.
The chronicles of my torture. I shall warm up some cold cocoa and listen to these again.
Thanks again, man. That catch-a-ride hacking you did is all in the past. I will definitely not kill you, probably. Freaking rats, man. I was this close to finding out what second base feels like. And also what second base is.